This is every single reason your friends who don't want to have kids, and this isn't what you think it's going to be. This is every single reason why your friends who don't want to have kids, but don't actually want to tell you.
For me, I feel like child-free by choice women are, they're going to be a very good parent. Most of them are going to be a very good parent. You know why? Because they have sat down to look at the reason why they don't want to have children, and it makes so much sense. Because they feel like probably they're very protective, they love so much, or they're afraid of what's going to happen to you. I feel like they're going to be one of the best parents if maybe they change their mind. Because I feel like there are a lot of reasons whereby child-free by choice women do not want to have children. Aside from them not liking children, there are other deeper reasons why they don't want to have children. There's a lady that made a video of why she thinks child-free by choice women do not want to have children. Let's go ahead and watch this 4-minute video together, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
This is every single reason your friends who don't want to have kids, and this isn't what you think it's going to be. This is every single reason why your friends who don't want to have kids, but don't actually want to tell you. It's not like the freedom, blah, blah, blah. We already know about all that. Here are things that your friends don't want to tell you about why they don't want to have kids, because it's just too much, and literally you guys actually don't want to know the answer. First and foremost, they genetically don't want to pass on their genes. They might have a lot of mental, emotional turmoil that they go through, and they're like, you think I'm going to spawn another kid that has to deal with what I have to deal with mentally? No, ma'am, I'm not going to put another kid through that. Secondly, maybe their parents really screwed them up, and not the kind of parents that are like really psychos, but their parents are generally good people who just inadvertently truly screwed their kids up. And so they go, well, my parents are a good person, I'm a good person, they actually tried their hardest to not screw me up, but they did irreparable damage mentally to me. So who's to say I wouldn't do that to my same kid, because I'm just not self-aware enough to know how I'm going to damage them. Some of your friends might have very high functioning depression that you don't even know about, and they're like, it takes me every ounce of every part of me to exist in this world. I cannot and will not be responsible for making sure a child is loved, does things outdoors, has friends, because I mentally am barely personally surviving. I cannot and will not ruin a child's life. If you're a people pleaser, you might say, I take so much of my energy to constantly make sure everyone else is like, okay. And I feel like my tank is empty for even myself. So if I birth another people pleaser, I already know in their adult life how hard that's going to be on them. And I don't want to create that kind of atmosphere for another person. You might also want to consider that if anyone in their family has addiction issues or has family members that have like severe medical conditions, they might say, no way, unless you can guarantee me I will not have to watch someone suffer with addiction, with a medical issue, blah, blah, blah. They might not want to have kids because they know they see someone in their life trying their absolute hardest to beat something, and they cannot beat it. And they cannot guarantee that their child would not have the same issue. People whose families have passed away, family members have passed away, they might go, no, done, checked out. My sister died, my brother died, my mom died. I am not going to open myself up emotionally to someone else that way again. I cannot love someone that much and have them pass away. I will not be able to handle it in my heart and in my soul. People that are very self-aware, that know that they have a hard time emotionally consolidating things, or have a very short temper, and maybe they grew up in a household with very short temper, and that type of really explosive anger really fostered their anxiety in their adult life. And then in turn, you also have explosive anger or very temperamental behaviors. And you know, even without the stressors of a child, you have a hard time emotionally checking that temper. So God forbid you put a child into the mix, that temper is going to be explosive, and then you are going to continue the cycle of explosive temper, trauma, yada, yada, yada. I am not saying that this is every single person that doesn't want to have kids, but I think it's a whole heck of a lot more than you realize. I believe personally there's a very small group of people that don't want to have kids simply because they really like their life and they don't want to disrupt it, or they don't want to have that responsibility. I think there's a far more wide range of people that have extremely detailed and complex reasons why they do not want to have kids, and it is too much, and it's like trauma dumping, and too of long of like an emotionally complex conversation to actually give people when they say, why don't you want to have kids? They just go, oh, I like my life right now, it's just not in the cards for me, it's a blah 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 blah. Trust me. Sound off. If you're one of these people, sound off. I just have a feeling some of those things I mentioned are some reasons I don't want to have kids. Some things are other things that people have mentioned why they don't want to have kids that I know, but just something to think about. It's a little bit deeper than you think.
One of the first thing somebody tells a child-free by choice person is you are selfish for not bringing somebody into this world. And I kind of see that it's not bad. I don't see you telling a child-free by choice person selfish as an insult, because if they are selfish, it's because they've thought about so many things. Imagine, look at the world we're living in now. Look at abuse everywhere. Look at everything just happening, chaos, war. And imagine somebody just sit aside and be like, how can I get pregnant in this situation going on now? How can I bring another child into this world to come and suffer what is going on now or experience things like this? It's because they love so much and they don't want somebody else to suffer what they are suffering, right? And if that is selfishness, it's not an insult to me. There are a lot of reasons, right? Aside from women saying that because they do not like children, or they cannot handle children, or they don't even know what to do when you carry a baby. Like, what are you going to do? Like, when you carry a baby that is crying, you don't know what to do, and you just assume that, well, I don't think baby is for me, and you just let it go, right? Some people might be sickness. They don't want to pass on sickness. There are a lot of diseases that can be passed on from generation to your DNA can be passed on, right? They'll be like, oh, this particular illness you're having is hereditary. In fact, when I go to the hospital for checkup and everything, they keep asking me so many questions like, do your mom have this? Do your dad have this? I'm like, what concern my mommy and my daddy with what's going on with my life? They're like, there are some disease and there's some illness that can be passed on, right? So imagine, probably my parent passed on some things to me, and I mean, like, I don't want to pass on this to another generation. I'm like, oh, I don't want to have children. It's because I kind of love. I don't feel like that is so much love, and I feel like most parents don't even have it, because some parents can be very selfish. I feel like some parents can be selfish to themselves, like they don't even think about their children's health or their children's future's life, or how would I put it, right? And again, when you think about the trauma you went through, as we've been seeing the videos of SA, child abuse and all of that, imagine somebody going through that child abuse from a young age with a father, a stepdad, an uncle, everybody back to back. And she comes out, she says she don't want to have children, and you're telling me she's selfish, or you're telling me it's not a good reason for you not to say you want to bring a child into this world. How is it not a good reason? So she has already experienced something like that, and she's like, I don't want to have a child, and probably it might be a girl, and I have to be so worried that something like this will happen to her, or exactly what happened to me, or what I'm even trying to overcome will happen to her later. These are the kind of things, I feel like there are deeper reasons for why child-free by choice women decide not to have children, aside from having children is stressful, taking care of a child is not easy, I don't like children. I just feel like that's just a basic, right? But I feel like there is deeper meaning, deeper reason for them not deciding to have children. Are you a child by choice woman? What is your deeper reason for not having children? Because for me, I don't see, or do you see when they tell child by choice women that they are selfish? Do you think it's an insult? I don't see it as an insult. I see it as, okay, they're selfish. Okay, they're selfish. And I personally feel like they are going to be a great parent, because they've overthink things. They've done the overthinking that parents did not even do, right? they've done the overthinking, they've seen that, oh, this is going to happen if this happen, if this happen. Like, I feel like the overthinkers mostly might be child-free by choice women, because they've overthink things and they'll be like, I can't do this. And if you overthink things and you've actually processed so many things in your head, I feel like you've seen the bad, the good, and you've weighed it, and you'll be like, this side is not going to work for me, right? What is your take on today's video? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. It's a short clip as I share with you all today. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. It's your favorite girl again, Maria Davis, and thank you all so much for tuning in today's video. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.